with Dan Stratton. I want to just do a shout out to everybody that's been watching these 5 weeks. Today's the 6th week. I want to thank you for being with us. Thank you for commenting, asking questions, and setting us up for all the building that we're doing. It is our goal to serve you. It is our goal to motivate you and to help you. And today's topic is the topic of speaking up, the topic of preparing to speak impactful words throughout your workday, at home, and moving around in your life and being really, really effective. A lot of times what happens to us is we will come into a situation at work or even at home with family, with friends, or with adversaries, with clients, and we run into a place where we've been shut down, where we've been rejected, where we've been challenged to the point of not knowing what to do or not feeling empowered or allowed even to speak up. So I want to just tell you that you have to prepare to give voice. I call it giving voice. You have to practice your voice. And part of that is you can do that with writing. You can do that in conversation. But most people don't have conversations that actually prepare them to say important things. They just spend their time talking about whatever is on the news, whatever they view in the street, whatever they view online, and they end up not really having a confidence in their thoughts, confidence in their opinions, confidence in their worldview, in their viewpoints. And so it's important that you begin to develop that. And the way you do it, and the way you do it so that there's strength to it, is you do a little exercise I call mission, vision, and core values. You actually ask yourself a question like, what is my purpose? What would I do if I knew I wouldn't fail? And then the vision of that, you'll find some form of expression of that. And I think that's very important to think about. And so you say, all right, what is my purpose? What is my, what would I do if I knew I wouldn't fail? And then you start talking about, you start to imagine it and look forward. For me, I'm supporting some people in Cuba, some very strong, wonderful leaders in Cuba by supporting them financially, supporting them spiritually in prayer, supporting them by going there and conversing with them, developing a relationship with them, all of that. And so the idea is for me, but this is all based on my mission being something that's important to me, which is empowering people to impact society for good. And I've been doing this for over 30 years, 40 years probably now. And it is something that I find a leader, find what they're passionate about, and then I support them. But mainly what I help them to do is to express their passion, express their creativity, express their unique gifting that solves problems for other people, impacting society for good. And so I have learned to develop my voice. So you start with your mission, which I just shared a little bit about what mine is. My vision is really to find people that are doing good things and then coming alongside them and helping them by listening to them, capturing their vision, helping them to write their vision, helping them to write a business plan, helping them to build a team around what that is. And then what that does is that builds up their confidence in what they have to say. But all of this is based on and begins in a place I call the core value exercise. So you ask yourself, what's really important to you? What's important to you about, your life? What are the truths or the character qualities that you live by? So when I think about these things, you think about what's important. You might think honesty. is important. Integrity might be important. Loyalty might be important. Faithfulness might be important. Creativity might be important. Generosity might be important. Innovative, right? Teamwork, anticipation or anticipatory, those types of things. And you have to discover those for yourself. You have to kind of observe yourself for a little while and just see what's important for you. What might be important is just kind of getting along. For you, what might be important is just getting by even. And I don't want to say that in a mean way, but you don't like confrontation that much. So you are in this situation where you have to really think about what your motivation is and what really inspires you and what moves you towards your purpose. And then you get in these conversations and you talk about it. You talk about it with friends, and then you start to build on it. And you ask yourself the question, okay, if integrity is important to me, then what is integrity? You define that. Integrity is maybe trustworthiness. And then you have that discussion with a good friend. Trustworthiness, right? And then you have that discussion with people that you're with, and you continue doing that. You can hear my dog in the background. Riley, be quiet. And so we do these things on a regular basis. We have a conversation around what it is. Like, I work with a good friend of mine. She's a lawyer, and we've developed their core values, and they value things like curiosity, right? That might be something you might want to think about. Caring, like a nurturing kind of a concept. Creating, because they're an intellectual property law firm, they've created a space for creativity. They nurture that space. They nurture curiosity. They nurture proactivity. Don't wait for somebody else. I mean, in intellectual property, you have to understand that first to market is such an important thing. You have to beat everybody else to the marketplace, because if you're not the first one there patenting that idea, you're a day late and a dollar short. And that's very, 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 very important. And so as we think about our core values, as we think about our mission, and we think about our vision, and then we practice them. There's a great scripture that says, write the vision, make it plain, so that others will read it and run with it. Though it tarry, wait for it, for it will surely come, and it will not tarry. Very beautiful. But then it says, for the just shall live by faith. The just shall live by faith. And so the power of that is, and you can always leave that up, is a lot of us carry our dreams, our hopes, our passions, our purposes on the inside, and we never speak them out. We don't advocate for each other, right? We don't advocate for what's important to us. So it's like so powerful that we learn and encourage one another to advocate. And we learn to encourage one another to give voice. We encourage one another to speak our dreams, our passions. And part of that is you have to kind of believe that what you're doing is really, really going to make a difference. It's going to help somebody. It's going to solve a problem for somebody. Some of the greatest inventions, they seem so simple, but they solved a problem for a mother, for a nursing mother, for a father, for someone who has to fix his own car, someone who has to, who paints for a living. You're always solving these little issues. And if you're one of your core values is to help, to serve, then you're going to be of the mindset to help and to serve. It's a very, very powerful exercise on a daily basis that you can do. Just walking through it. It's a much more productive conversation with your friends to think about what is it that I really care about. What is it that I think about on a regular basis, and then also helps you to begin to really think about things that are important to you rather than just being moved around by whatever's on TV or whatever the next sporting event is or what have you. You're more proactive, you're more purposeful, you become clearer about what it is you want to achieve, sometimes just for the day, sometimes for the week, sometimes for your life. And I think that's very, very important. And so we here at Morning Motivations just want to encourage you and motivate you to write your vision, write your mission, and write your core values out, and then encourage you to call somebody and ask them to do the same. You'll be amazed how motivated people can get. I get a lot of comments from over the years. I've been doing this for over 30 years. So I get a lot of comments about conversations I've had with friends, with family that I had 30, 35 years ago. And they say, wow, you asked me to think about my purpose. You asked me to think about my core values. You asked me to think about my vision. And I did. Then you asked me to write it down. And then you took the time to read it. You actually cared enough to listen to me and hear me out. And you gave me a place to practice speaking my vision, speaking my purpose. And once you begin to do this a little bit, you really truly become a lover of people, a lover of dreams, a lover of creativity, a lover of life, really. You're actually interested in the right things. You're interested in who that person is. You're interested in why that person was created, why that person is in front of you. See, I don't believe there are any accidents. I believe that people are very, very important. And I believe that people are doing powerful things. And I believe that a lot of times they just need to be helped and urged along. So it's important that you do this today, that you actually go through and look at your core values, look at your mission, look at your vision, and all that stuff. So thank you for tuning into Morning Motivations today. If you have a question or a comment or a dream or a vision that you want to share with me, that you want to give voice. And I also want to take in the last minute here that I have with you, I want to encourage you. Some of you are facing some things at work. Take some time, write out your thoughts, get organized, and prepare for that review that you may be having at work today. Prepare for that conversation, that tough conversation you may have with a loved one over somebody's hospital care. Really prepare. Don't go in there all emotional. Try to determine early on what you want to accomplish in that conversation, and then put it out there. Write down what's important to you, write down the purpose of that conversation, and move that forward. So that's what I want to encourage you with today. Again, thank you for tuning in to Morning Motivations. If you have any questions, have any comments about what we're doing, how we could do it better, we want to hear from you. We want to help you with specific questions. It's kind of what we do, and we help each other. I always say the answer to every question is a person. It's not always me, rarely me, but I don't have to be a dentist if I know one. I don't have to be a car mechanic if I know one. I don't have to be a business writer if I know one, and I can refer you to these people. So thanks again for tuning in, and I hope you were motivated this morning. God bless you. Have an awesome day.